Good evening or afternoon, depending on where you are. This is Sandy Shallis, and I am coming to you with some thoughts of spurring some discussion about the state of where we are, really. Given the news, 17 people dead in a school, 19-year-old that has access to an AR-15 type assault weapon, a white nationalist, again. I am not showing my anger at this moment, but I did all over my Facebook page today, and other things. So I want to start out with a little something from Noam Chomsky, and it is about manufacturing consent, which is a video I saw the other day, which I really liked because it's exactly what is happening here in our nation. It is probably exactly why we won't battle climate change. It's manufactured consent, and we've all been victims. He wrote a book with another gentleman called named Edward S. Herman, and the authors proposed that the mass communication media of the United States are effective and powerful ideological institutions that carry out a system, a supportive propaganda function. We've seen all this, right? By reliance on market forces, internalized assumptions, and self-censorship, and without overt coercion by means of the propaganda model of communication. So what does that boil down to, folks? Just say hello to Jan and Pat and oh yes, well, I'm not meaning to be depressive. I really want to do this. It's a serious discussion, and we have been under a manufactured consent system probably my whole life. And ever since I saw that video with that Amy Goodman did about manufactured consent, I've been thinking about this, along with a lot of other things thinking about. But just how did we get here? You know, all my life, I suppose I was just like a lot of other people. We consented by the things we saw in the media and the things we consumed, we bought, we still do, right? But now we have actually gone over a line in manufactured consent, in the line of craziness, really. Mass shootings, just the environmental degradation in 1 year that we're going to see happen. I hope my connection's all right. Anyway, it's very serious. It is really serious. And we need to find a way to fight together as progressives on all these pages. There's a lot of people that are pulling at each other, and I just see if we don't unite like we did for Bernie Sanders in the United States, it's going to get worse. And those powers that now have control of our country, that have their little boy in the White House, they are going to have a hold, and it's a hold for the rest of my life, probably. I don't like it, and thereby comes another quote from Noam Chomsky. And this brings us up a little bit. Optimism is a strategy for making a better future, because unless you believe that the future can be better, it's unlikely you will step up and take responsibility for making it so. If you assume that there's no hope, you guarantee that there will be no hope. If you assume that there is an instinct for freedom, there are opportunities to change things. That's a chance. There's a chance you may contribute to making a better world, and the choice is yours. So we've gone from manufactured consent to there's a way. I don't know if it will solve the problems, the large problems, but they will solve problems if we all join together again. And I'm not going to tell people who to vote for or what party. My inclination is I'm sick and disgusted at what's going on. And when everybody talked about the Trump fear porn and all that, it was okay. It's fear porn, or they're trying to scare us. But guess what? It is as bad or worse. And sometimes I think Bernie Sanders knew something we didn't. He knew how bad this was going to be. He knew instinctively about the money behind everything. And I'm not sitting and supporting that he didn't stand up for all his donors. I was one. I'm not going there. I am merely talking about the fact that if we don't get together to fight, and even if it is a D on the ticket, as long as that person can get rid of the scourge, the virus, the infection in our political system today, we may be in deeper trouble. And I'm not giving you fear porn. I'm giving you reality. It's reality. I cannot lie. I mean, politically, I am really disgusted with what I see going on in our right wing. I'm sick over the fact that they really have won, and that libertarian dream of the Koch brothers and that ilk of the elites are winning. But they are winning in such a way that we're all going to lose, including them. So at least in the short term, we'll get out there and do something. You know, I've been whining and crying a lot about my back problems and physical problems, and I had to stop doing interviews and things because even getting from the damn bedroom to my home office to sit here for a time and do interviews was really a problem. But I had to come on today because I needed a place, and I needed my people to at least talk about this with, get you thinking on maybe changing your thinking, maybe our own manufactured consent. I'm manufacturing something here, and I'm telling all of you that we have got to do something about this slide. And I see it as a slide into fascism. The guy wants to have a military parade, and it is not a military parade honoring the veterans of unjust wars. It's a military parade to say, my you know what is bigger than your new you know what, to North Korea or Russia. I don't know. I'm not that deep into the political spectrum. I'm into the environmental spectrum. And Pat, thank you. Sometimes I'm not a godsend to any sanity. I don't feel that way. Thank you for saying that. It's just that, I have a lot of time on my hands to think. And when you go through your own personal struggles, sometimes you have to get out of them. And there is a world outside of them. There's my community world of the things that we're doing around here right now, but there's that bigger world. And although I don't think that I alone can effectuate that change, I think we all can, but we got to stop this. We can't look backwards anymore. I actually was really upset because some people that I know they're so disaffected that they're actually talking about Sean Hannity and Fox TV as realistic news. Now, I don't watch MSNBC or CNN or anything anymore. I watch NPR. I watch overseas news online. I get a pretty good idea of what's going on. And people in certain groups are now actually defending Donald Trump. And to me, Donald Trump and all of them are in defensible, planet-eating, horrible people. Okay? That is my inclination. And it scares me that some of my friends and people are going to the dark side. And they are. And I don't know how to stop them because it's dismissive. And you know how the internet is. Trolls, trolls, trolls. You know, people can be trolly, and I don't want that. That's not what I'm about. That's not what the channel's about. In fact, what we're doing here is I'm going to interview two gals coming up. Chrissy Nardi, who's from Wyoming, and she's an activist, and she just put together some things that I was really very impressed with. She worked with Linda Black Elk, and they put together a communication list of all kinds of people to communicate in Bears Ears Black and the Black Hills. Forgive me. She's going to be on with me Saturday night Eastern Time 9. I'm introducing her and her voice. She's an activist, and she's been to Standing Rock, and she captivated me, and I really want to talk to her. I think that she has a message, and as I said, that my torch has to be carried on. And I am using my background in human resources. Guess I'm doing job interviews for live streamers. Maybe that's what you call it. I also am in the talks with Nakia Botham from Squamish, British Columbia, about doing her thing. We're going to interview. She is a solar expert, and her husband is an irrigation expert, and they live off the grid. They made a video called Off the Grid with a Kid. It's really cute. I had linked it. And she did a live stream talking about the tariffs that was on the Environmental Coffee House group. And I really have been talking to her for a year. And I think that both those lovely people might have a voice that will fit with what we want to do here. You know, I talk enough about climate change and the gloom and the doom, and we need to bring on some spirit and some youth and some excitement to the page so that we all are excited for what we're going to do, because 2018 is here, and I am dead serious. If we don't get in the United States control of the House somehow, it's just going to get worse. So maybe the next AR-15 be in your school district. And I'm not an anti-gun person. I'm anti-manufacturing them. If they were not manufactured, no one could get them. I have a shotgun. It's mine. You know, I live in the country. I have it, but it's not an AR-15. And I had a hunting license, and it's got 5 shots. I don't think I could kill a deer if I wanted to anyway. I'd rather shoot with a camera. However, it's insanity. Again, I say it, it's just insanity what's going on. Rob Cotton made a video today. I put it on my personal page. Twist the Knife is his site. And he's an angry dude, but he writes really good articles for The Intercept. And his video today says what I'd like to be able to say, but I can't. You know, I can't do it like he did it. And it was pretty good. So I urge you to check him out. So we've talked about Chrissy and Nakia. I think you're going to like them both. And me. I just have to get better. And we want to keep this thing going. It's really a good endeavor, Environmental Coffee House. And it's, put it this way, it's been exercise for my brain, where my body is pretty much falling apart. And it's not funny, really. But I'm just, you know, having to make adjustments to life to go on with life. I guess that's what it is. Kim says, I am anti-semi-automatic guns. Absolutely. But the way to get it is at manufacturing. But the NRA, you know, the manufacturing plants all donate to the NRA. So what does that go back to? It goes back to Citizens United. It goes back to making change. It goes back to the 2018 elections. And I don't say, hunters, you can't have guns. But deranged 19-year-olds who grew up ingesting God knows what toxins in the air, God knows what the correlation is to any of this violent behavior besides the communication, they see on the media and the violent video games they've grown up with. Humanity, we're so inherently violent. Hi, Mindy. Oligarchy. That's the word. I say it all the time. How did we learn the word oligarchy? Bernie Sanders. And how did I get open-minded to what's really going on from my own little life? Jane Mayer. People that, inspired me. And now I read a lot of things on climate change and all, but I haven't read a thing in 3 weeks. No, I'm not going to lie, except for the articles that go on the page with Justin. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. And, share it around. I'm going to say hi to James and Kim. Hi, James. And Vicky's here. Hi, Vicky. How are you? It's so nice to see all of you. Ed, some of mine are defending him and all he does too. Oh, Donald Trump. There's a piece on my personal page if you're friends of mine, I put it on. I didn't write it. It's pretty good though. And I'm just sorry. I'm just angry. And I know that anger and all those emotions, they do make you hurt. And the pain is, in my back. It's like I wear my back brace. I have to wear it because I can't do a whole lot without it lately. But thanks. Thanks for coming. And I'm glad that you're all joined me. Share it. What the heck? I thought it was a pretty good conversation. So we'll see you Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern time with Chrissy. Peace, guys.